biggest news of the day. Rochdale got beat at home by Morecambe 4-2.
Bloody hell.
And York won 1-0 away. So they're top now, both on 98. That's at York are top.
More interesting news elsewhere.
Absolutely.
Okay then, Birmingham City 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. 90 minutes of, again, just sideways and backwards football. Very negative style of play. Blackburn were, I don't know, their goal was great, I've got to be honest, you know, they're very well finished, good move, but aside from that, you know, they weren't like the best team to come to St Andrews this season, you know, they weren't that threatening, but they got a goal and that was all that they need really, you know, for a team that's battling against relegation, and they've got a big game against West Brom next week, so, you know, that's all they needed really, so, yeah, I mean, to say what we did really was like, I mean, like, you can't even think, you know, like we had like Osman hit the post from like 1 yard out in the first half, and then Jay had a shot in the second half, and that's about it really. I mean, it's just becoming a running theme now, isn't it? You know, where we're playing really boring, negative football, you know, passing it around, not having any shots on target, not going forward at all as well. Like, it was just every single time we seem to like mount some sort of attack, you know, like it's just nothing to it, you know. And like even, you know, when we see us like actually moving forward with the ball, we look like positive and we look good then, you know, we're getting corners and working things forward, but as soon as we go back to reverting to type, we just fall back into shape as usual, don't we? So it's like a really frustrating day, but Dad kick us off as usual.
Yeah, well, I can do, yeah, but my overriding feeling about the day is obviously people have sort of said that, you know, some people are very much Davies out, aren't they, and some people have on the fence type of thing, but I just wonder now at this point now how we can come back from that. And I don't think all the blame for what's going on at the club this season is about Chris Davies, is it? There's lots of things you can pick apart, but I don't know how he kind of gets back from that today. I think because poor performances away have been sort of backed up by decent-ish performances at home with wins, but losing today at home with the fans already feeling a bit despondent about where things are going.
Yeah.
The reaction in the stadium and amongst the fans, I feel like he's losing. Well, he might have even lost the fan base entirely, and not just your people online who say Davies out and shout things. I actually think your match-going fans and your home match-going fans as well, not just your away ones, your home fans, they have now gone against him. So I wonder whether there is, I can't see a way back for him at the minute. Where does it at some point suddenly click into gear and it all works well for him? I thought if we got to the end of the season and you end up with those last 7 games, you win 3 or 4, things seem on track, you go again next season. That's what he seemed to be saying this week. But the level of performance today, and not just the defeat, again, the level of performance and the way the players are reacting, it makes me wonder whether things are coming to an end. It feels like there's an ending coming, and it feels coming quicker than I thought it would come.
It felt like when Jay went off in particular, because I was watching him as he sat down, he's just like sitting like storming off and everything.
I mean, I think for some players it matters, doesn't it? For a lot of the players, they just look like they're going through the motions. They're playing, but they're not really playing. They don't look completely convinced by what they're doing either. And at the end of the match, I would say that the whole setup of it looked like a club that's kind of fell to pieces on the pitch. I mean, on the pitch, not off the pitch, on the pitch. It looked like a bit of a pub team. You know, you've got centre halves up front, you've got all these kind of weird things going on. It looked shambolic, and that for me, again, is an indication that all is not well. And then at the very end, when they're about to go around and see the fans like they do, they all got in a big huddle, didn't they? And I felt there they knew that what was coming, and it's almost like stick together. But I don't feel like they are all sticking together and everything's covered. And once the fan base is offside, especially the home fan, unless something drastically changes, I can't see a way back for him. I genuinely can't. But if he's got to go, then they've all got to go, because the tools that he's been given to do the job, like Gardner and the other recruitment, and I'm not championing people getting the sack, but I'm saying is if they make a change to the coach of the first team, everybody else has to come, because the tools that they've given him through successive windows now to build that team, if you look at what's happening there now, that does not look like a squad. They're going to have to revamp again, they're going to have to go again, buy new players. So you're starting again, aren't you? So clearly those windows where we've spent significant amounts of money on players, That has not worked, so it can't just be the manager who's carrying the can for that. Because, and I won't single him out, but I have to say it in order to make my point, is that when you look at players like Fujimoto coming on today, he's miles away from being a championship footballer, but he's been recruited into the squad, hasn't he? And he is nowhere near that level. He is basically giving him a bit of a mascot's pass to have a game, and because there's no way that he justifies being up, and you can see why Davies doesn't play him, because he's not up to the level. And that's probably true of a lot of other players, in which case, if Davies doesn't rate them, why were they brought in, and why has he been given those players, and why have we also lost players that could have done a job for us at the end of the season? Why did we lose Lyndon Dykes, for example, who could have done a job for us today to play out there? Why lose him at that point? There was no need to do that. So all around, all of that there, in my opinion, something has drastically got to change. It's not up to me though, is it? It's only my opinion. It's up to the club to decide which way is the way forward, and maybe sacking all of those people involved there is not what they're going to do, because you know, it might just destabilise everything, and they might just want to get to the end of the season. But if they continue going through this kind of malaise like they are now, you lose the fans, the players have lost the kind of the you know, the will of it all, the motivation of it all. It's just going to get uglier and uglier. So something needs to change. We go to Ipswich on Monday. They're a good side going for promotion. You just dread to think what's going to happen there. And also, we've got Wrexham coming up, who are also going for the playoffs, who came up with us, didn't they? Who look head and shoulders from where we are as well. And they've spent money, but we've spent significant money as well, and we don't look anywhere near that at the minute. They're 2 down at the Albion, they come back to 2-2.
Exactly.
That's a good result for them again, keeping them in the hunt. And we probably are only a few wins away from still being in that ourselves. But our season and our form has just gone absolutely into the toilet.
It's done that, hasn't it?
So yeah, there's lots you could say, but for me, that was a turning point today, and that looks like I'm not sure now where we're going with all of this. So yeah, that's my initial thoughts, my reaction to it. I might later in the way, I might change my mind a bit.
And
I've got no piano to play today. I should have bought my own little piano. So Mum can say things before Jack.
Before Jack, because
everyone's looking forward to Jack's bit.
I'll forget.
Because they've even been asked about it on the way at the game. People are looking forward to it. Storing it up.
Go on, Mum.
I think. No,
Come on, don't slow it down.
No, I just thought about it when I was walking home. You know when Dad said, "Oh, they got in that circle," because he's like giving them a bit of a heads up that they're going to get a bollocking from the crowd and all that. So stand together and let's all walk round together. I just prefer it. I'm fed up of like identikit football, because the Blackburn manager goes down to his end with their celebrating. He does the 3 punches, oi, 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 because that's what we do now when you win a football team. And our team get it together in a huddle, and then they come round and they're, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we didn't play very well." I'd much prefer it if you went, "That was fucking shit," got them back in the changing room and gave them a bollocking. None of this standing, "Oh, we're so sorry." You know, you invest a lot as a fan into going to the football, not just finance but emotion and everything, and we don't get it back. So they play shit, then they come round, "Oh, we're so sorry, we played badly," but it means nothing to them because they're still getting paid millions and millions of pounds. If Davies isn't happy with them, or they're not happy with each other, then go off and have a scream and shout about it. Don't all just stand there and, "Oh, we're so sorry." And you know, I love Ethan Laird, and he looks really pissed off as he's walking round, but use that anger, storm off like Jay does, and storm off and go and sit in the changing room and get angry. Don't just stand there being performing, because you've performed for 90 minutes and then you perform even more, and it's everywhere in football at the moment. I don't like it. Everything's identikit football. You all play the same, you all pass the same, you all act the same, you all act the same for the pitch, you all do the same. Nobody's unique anymore, you know. Maverick, and it's just this that's
they're damned if they do and damned if they don't, though, aren't they? Because if they didn't come round, the fans would go mad about that.
True,
so if they do, nobody likes it. When you lose games, you lose games, don't you? And it's just a bad situation all round, isn't it now? So it'd be interesting to see what the club actually takes on that. But I think you've got really, really good points, actually.
I agree.
Apart from that, if they hadn't done that at the end, I'd actually had absolutely nothing to say.
Well, there wasn't a lot else to say, was there? Right, over to Jack.
Over to the bit
the
of
positive
everybody's
one.
looking, everybody's been looking forward
over
to
the
this
optimism
reaction,
corner.
Yes. Jack, the truth teller, as somebody tweeted me on Twitter the other day.
Why did they tweet you and not me? I haven't really got much to say.
Of course you don't. Go on.
No, I'll keep it short. We've said all the things even in this video and actually all season really. I think the periods past where you talk about certain individual performances because no one cares. Especially the players, they don't care. I don't know. I've started doing it recently where I kind of can't stomach the what Mom's describing there, the kind of post-match antics that go on the pitch because it feels so fake.
I mean, you went straight out.
So yeah, I've started kind of walking out as the final whistle goes, and it's a good way to kind of gauge what the real fans are thinking actually, because like lots of people say, the people who hang around will just clap, even if we lost 9-0 every week. So when the real fans are walking past you, it was the most unhappy I'd ever seen the Blues really, as a fan base, because the one thing that kind of struck me in the face really as everyone was walking out is that every single one of them, as I was saying, everyone who'd come to the game today was like kind of sold a lie this season, because you even for today, if you haven't bought a season ticket, which most people probably have, we weren't sold this season. The players who came in told us we were having a different season. The ownership always demand more of the fans, always demand more of how much we're willing to spend and how much time we're willing to give up. And today another kind of sales pitch to you about a movie we're supposed to care about. And then you kind of think, well, the thing that really does matter about the football, it was just lied. This wasn't what we were promised. This kind of, I know it's an overused phrase and the person who used it isn't at the club anymore, but this kind of no fear football or front-footed approach isn't true, is it? It doesn't happen. It's I do a lot other than watch the game sometimes, and during the week we've had 2 weeks off, haven't we, or whatever it's been, and the anger's still there after the Derby one. Is that Blues to me are a team that like put 100% effort in, and maybe we're not the best team in the world, but when you look at the squad you go, these are people who care about playing for the club. And today just struck me as the complete opposite, really. A team that doesn't care about playing for the Blues, is already thinking of the next move, and maybe even the manager is as well. People would say around us, do you think he's just playing to get the sack almost? And I just think this isn't the club I support. People talk about identity in the club a lot recently, and it was anything but, wasn't it? It was anything but the Blues today, and I just felt embarrassed really to look at that and to look at the club we always talk about. And for that to be what's shown to you, it just felt like an insult, really. It was.
I said it at Derby, it was an insult to our integrity as fans, for people that go home and away every game. To have that for 90 minutes, just pass the ball around. That's not entertainment. That's not worth the money that we spent to get here today. Or even, into away games as well.
I was saying to you on the way down that, like, that's what we are as a club, and the last people that anybody listens to at the moment seems to be the fans.
I know. Yeah.
The people who go every single week, and especially the people now at home as well who are seeing the truth, are kind of the last people that people consider. Their opinion means nothing, so they can boo, they can be angry at the club, at the performance, at the players, and what changes? Especially in the terms of what you see for Davis on the pitch. Nothing changes, does it? You sit there every week, you say the same things about the same things you're seeing, and everyone goes, "Oh, we're not going to listen to them. We'll just carry on because we know better." And it just feels like, well, if you don't want to hear our opinion, and you don't want to hear what we want to say, then good luck to you, because we won't be here. Because it's just like, you've got to take that into consideration. If 30,000 people are telling you this is shit, this isn't working, everyone knows what you're doing, then listen to them. Because surely they know what they're talking about, surely. Yeah,
well, what me and Tommy saying on the way out, though, is that, it's almost like it's his way or the highway, isn't it? He only wants to do things his way.
Yeah.
So regardless of how the game's going, and then at the end, we come up with some kind of like weird and wonderful thing at the end, which clearly was never going to work, putting Clara up front and whatever, and throwing Fujimoto on and all that. But it's all too late, isn't it? It's too late in the game then something different needed to be done today to win that game, and that probably needed more, not just about setup, but about like desire, and like kind of willingness to want it. And that's where I wonder where in the group now they've kind of like switched off almost. It's the season's ending, it's nothing to play for. Like you say, they're all thinking, what's the next move, what's happening where? But as fans, we don't think like that, because we'll be here next season.
We can't move on.
No, and I don't want to be, because I love the club that much. You know what I mean? I love coming to the games. I love the people who come here. Yeah. We've got an amazing thing, and nobody amongst this fan base is kind of overprivileged or whatever, because we support the Blues and we always have done.
Yeah.
What we're saying is that people were promising us, like, we got a new era, and that new era will still come, it will. But this season, in terms of the expectations and what has been set about us, it's just been massively underperformed, massively, from all sides. And so people are going to be angry, aren't they? But there again, something needs to change, is my opinion. It's not just about underachieving.
Yeah.
Something different needs to happen now, because otherwise we're going to underachieve again. It's not like we've underachieved this year. Something else is going to have to change, because if we just go back to doing the same thing again, like we go to the recruitment in the summer, we buy 6 more players, we play the same way again, just repeating the same things all the time is just going to end up with the same results. So something needs to change.
Because you watch to see how difficult the league will be next season. Teams like Wolves, Burnley, or either Forest, West Ham or Tottenham coming
This
down.
is the same reaction video we gave last week standing in the train station, because I was saying the same things and you were saying the same things. Next year's going to be more difficult, and I'm saying something needs to change. But something needs to change doesn't mean going back into the next game and doing exactly the same thing again and hoping we're going to win. Something needs to change. That's what I'm saying. You can't just keep going this way. That great future that the club's got is going to happen. I'm under no illusions that it will happen, but it won't happen the way they expect in the time frame if we don't start to do something different.
It won't happen soon.
You can't lose the fans. You know what I mean? As much as you say they might not be interested, a football club is nothing without the fans, and especially Birmingham City, because Birmingham City is built on what the fans are, because we've never had the football to go with it. You've got to carry them through, and you've got to take the same traditions and the same style and the same expectations that we expect as fans, because without them, you've got nothing.
Literally, And that's what Jack was saying, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, on a lesser point, it's my birthday tomorrow, so they've ruined another birthday. 20 years of shows. No, I'm joking.
No longer a teenager.
I know, I know
that means are you going to wake up tomorrow and then be all like sweetness and light?
I know, I thought
all
that. It should be the opposite,
and
the Harry
stoic.
Enfield character, isn't it?
Stoic, diplomatic.
Looking at everything, no more swearing, never calling anybody a cunt. Calling the ball by a cunt just to get the ball back in quick enough. It's all gone there.
I don't remember doing that, Father.
No. Felt like I should get that in there.
This is going to change from next week.
Yeah, the reaction's going to be all sweetness and beautiful.
At least something would have changed by Monday.
That's what I'm sure of us when we turn 20,
Yeah.
Father, I disagree with your point of view.
Forgetting the fact that Tommy's 23, so his
that's
beard hasn't quite flourished yet, has it? Anyway, we've done 18 minutes.
Yes, come on, we need to get going.
Right, anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to tune into the blog later. Keep right on.
This video is proudly supported by RM Risk Management, providing a comprehensive range of services tailored to UK property managers. Visit rmriskmanagement.co.uk to ensure a secure tomorrow. This video is brought to you by Glow Creations. Capture, create and illuminate with Glow Creations. Transforming coaches into speakers and leaders, and studio space for cinematic video, professional photography and broadcast quality podcasts. Visit glowcreations.io and go with Glow.